Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Divine Fellowship.
Home version.
Yeah, it is the home version. We're just going to kind of take it easy for just a minute or two and let people be able to sign in. And so we'll just let Phil prattle on for a minute or so.
Prattle, Phil.
So I cut a bunch of daffodils for this morning.
Aren't they pretty? No.
So
which way am I going?
Daffodils. And for those that that go to the church, they will recognize the plant in the background right there. That's our plant from the church.
We brought it home, make sure it got water and sunlight while we were not there.
Yeah. We did have some interesting things happen this last week after we did the first home version service. Normally on YouTube, we've been doing this on YouTube for 4 or 5 years. I don't remember. Shannon actually started this ministry when one of our members came down with ALS and couldn't see our services anymore.
Gail.
Sweet Gail. And Shannon took it upon herself to start filming our services. We've been recording them for probably 10, 15 years, but she started doing that.
Video.
And so it just went from there. And so we've been on YouTube for, 4 years.
I lose track of time.
I don't have no idea. But we really don't pay any attention to it. Well, all that to say, last week when we did this the first time on Facebook Live, our number of views went up like 10 times. I mean, we were like blown away. So obviously,
he was blown away.
She was terrified. Out. She was terrified. Yeah, she spends her time being terrified about being on camera. And of course, after 22 years of doing this, she still worries about the services every morning when we get ready and, frets about it.
I wouldn't say worry.
So, all right. So we're just prattling on for a minute. So, all right. So we don't know who's going to be viewing today. We could have people from just about anywhere other than just the Tri-Cities.
Malaysia. I have someone in Malaysia that might be tuning in. But she'll be tuning in tomorrow.
Oh, that's true.
It's her tomorrow, today, here.
Tell hello in Malaysia.
Candy in Malaysia.
Candy.
Did you want to show?
Sure. I guess, we're going to do a little show and tell also just real quick. Of
course, not motion sickness.
Not motion sickness. Of course, there's the dog.
She's sweet.
She's just sweet. She's curled up finally. And I wanted to show you, I'm trying to do this so people don't get motion sickness, but we've got some here. And Jan said she knew what most of them were. So
this is a manganocalcite. This is manganocalcite. This is manganocalcite. Of course, quartz, amethyst. I believe this is right. I don't know for sure what that is, and I think that's
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
okay. And the dog. Lila says hi. Where is she? She's right there. Okay. Hi, Delilah.
Okay.
Enough, Phil. All right. I'm going back. Sorry. I'm sorry if everyone's getting seasick. So here we go.
There we are. We're back. All right. I have to tell you, all this geeky stuff is just not my forte.
Yeah, needless to say.
While he's doing his thing, I'm going to chill, pray, recenter.
Okay. All right. I saw this the other day. One of my clients sent this to me, and I really, really liked it. We each have 2 lives. The second one begins when you realize we only have one. Think about that. I like it. And there is a free ebook available. I'm going to have Jan tell you about this.
Okay, so the free ebook, after the video is done, you're on the Divine Fellowship Facebook page. If you go to the Divine Fellowship website, thedivinefellowship.com, there's you'll see a link to free ebooks, and there's several ebooks there. And the latest one done for you is Banishing Fear, Moving into an Open-Hearted Life. You might want to check that out. Then at the bottom of that page is a donate button. Last week, several people said, well, we don't pass the basket, so point us to the donation button. So the donation button is also there as well. So thank you if you choose to support us.
Because we do have a nice building for our Divine Fellowship home. And so thank you for all the people that have supported that over the 22 years we've
Yeah.
been doing this.
Yeah,
Hard to
long time.
believe. So, and again, our calendar, there's nothing. Yeah. You know, what's really neat is that was the other thing when we started the church a long time ago. We loved, and this calendar is not as full as it normally is, but see, it's where are we? Pretty
There you
full.
go.
It's got lots of stuff on it, and that's what we wanted. We wanted the building to be used, so that's
All
very
kinds
cool.
of classes and workshops
Yeah.
going on, and hopefully some of those same classes and workshops can go on Zoom or live or something.
Mhm.
So we'll see if we can't manage that.
We're trying a lot of things. T-shirts and sweatshirts that you might want to order for yourself, but you might not want to wear. I don't know. A picture of a lawnmower and a rake and all that. It says, I came, I mowed, I kicked grass. Aha. Okay, it says, I do not scare easily. I have daughters. Okay.
Or some.
And this one's hard to read, but I said, you know that little thing inside your head that keeps you from saving things you shouldn't? Yeah, I don't have one of those. So, yeah, I really don't sometimes. Yeah, it's sad. I just did a week's worth of cardio after walking into a spider web. Yay. And we do have a couple patron saints by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon.
Yay, George and John.
And George, yes.
Oh, by the way, we forgot our opening song.
Gosh, we did. Isn't that
Jesus
amazing?
is just all right with me.
Yahoo.
Whoa, yeah.
Well, yeah. We are the only church in the world, I can almost easily say this, we are the only church in the world that usually starts our services with the Doobie Brothers. And when I say usually, we haven't done it for the last 2 weeks, which is kind of odd.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
weird.
everybody wants to hear the Doobie Brothers, right?
Right.
So if you want to know what our opening song normally is, go to YouTube, Doobie Brothers, and Jesus is Just All Right. It's a cool song. It really is. So, and John said, why in the world are we here? Surely not to live in pain and fear. Why on earth are we there? Are you there when you're everywhere? Come get your share. So I can't talk very well. There we go. And George, hooray for most things. Okay,
Thank you,
it's George. It's George. Okay, these are, what were these? Oh, these were church bulletin bloopers. So, okay. A bean supper will be held on Tuesday evening in the church hall. Music will follow. And at the evening service tonight, the sermon topic will be, what is hell? Come early and listen to our choir practice. 8 new choir robes are currently needed due to the addition of several new members and to the deterioration of some older ones. Ooh. Okay. Scouts are saving aluminum cans, bottles, and other items to be recycled. Proceeds will be used to cripple children.
Oh,
I don't think that's what they meant,
No.
but that's what was written. So okay. Please
Spell check, people.
True.
Proofread. Proof.
Please place your donation in the envelope along with the deceased person you want remembered. There's not room.
There's not room.
There's not room.
Well,
I'm pretty sure there's not room.
it'd be a big envelope for some ashes, I think.
It would be. It would be. Gosh, our expo, which we have done, this would have been our 20th anniversary for our expo that we put on every year, and we had to postpone it. It's now postponed until October of
3rd and
this year.
4th.
October 3rd and 4th. By the way, anybody that's not listening, that they don't know where in the heck we are, this is the Tri-Cities, Washington. We're southeast corner. Specifically, the church is in Richland. And so, you know, if you look on the map, southeast corner, that's where our little part of heaven is. Middle of desert in Washington. Most people don't know we have a desert, but we love it. Kids science answers, okay? Kids with science questions and answers. Explain one of the processes by which water can be made to drink. Flirtation makes water safer to drink because it removes large pollutant like grit, sand, dead sheep, and canoeists.
Flirtation.
Flirtation, yes.
You bat your eyes really, really fast.
You do. How is dew formed? The sun shines down on the leaves and makes them perspire.
Well, that's cute.
It is. How can you delay turning milk sour? Keep it in the cow. Makes sense, right?
Right.
Anything else we should talk about before I tell my final stupid joke?
No, please, just get it over with.
Okay, all right. Yeah, this won't get me in. Yeah, this one's fine. In the weekly offering, the pastor of a small church found a pink envelope containing $1,000. It happened again the next week. The following Sunday also, he watched as the offering the offering was collected and saw a little old lady put the distinctive pink envelope in the plate. This went on for weeks until the pastor, overcome with curiosity, approached her. Ma'am, I couldn't help but notice that you put $1,000 a week in the collection place, he says with a great big smile. Sorry, I just threw that in. Why, yes, she replied. Every week my son sends me money and I give some of it to the church. The pastor replied, well, that's wonderful. How much does he send you? The little old lady says, $10,000 a week. Pastor was amazed. Your son must be very successful. What does he do for a living? Oh, he's a veterinarian, she answered. Well, this is an honorable profession, the pastor said. Where does he practice? Well, the little old lady said proudly, in Nevada. He has 2 cat houses in Las Vegas and 1 in Reno. Am I in trouble? Nah, that's okay. But I probably will be leaving. I need to go into our other room, actually the office that you saw us in last week. We've got an intercom here, one in there. I am going to watch this, but I need to look at comments from in there so that later on when we do the guided meditation and stuff, I'll be able to ask Jan some of the questions. We won't be able to answer all of them, but I'll kind of pick a few chosen ones and relay the questions to her because she can't see here. And
we're Chromebook.
Oh, we're doing this on a little 10-inch Chromebook. So actually, I think it's coming out okie dokie.
Okay, yeah.
But so
shoot.
Bye.
Shoot. Thank you, Mr. Phil. So
I'm taking my coffee with me. Do you want this?
No.
Want a sip?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm good. Okay, so our discussion today, I have this wonderful process for you that I've probably only shared with, let me get him on intercom real quick, that I've probably only shared with maybe a handful of people. And part of the reason I've only shared it with a handful of people is because it is complicated. There's a lot to it. So I went into meditation to kind of look at this some more because we're going to work on transforming anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety about the world. There's always anxiety about the world, but right now we're looking at that. So as we look at this anxiety, we walk you through this process, is this beautiful healing process, and it's all done symbolically. So we are going to enter into a control room and make some adjustments on the controls. Now, the good news is that the things that we do in this ethereal realm have impact on the physical realm. And Phil's back. Do you need something?
Nothing's working.
Nothing's working?
Nope.
I don't know what to tell you, Phil.
Okay, I don't either.
So when I went into this meditation to relook at this process for you, some new things were added. I was really excited about that. So I came out of the meditation and I started writing notes down about these new things. And as I was looking at that, writing them down, I got to a part and I was like, I don't remember. So I had to go back into the guided meditation or the self-guided meditation and look again. And then I could bring that information back out to you. So a lot of visualization is really important for this work, spiritual work, because symbolism is the language of spirit. It accesses our subconscious and it connects us into spirit without the brain's judgment getting in the way. So, pardon me. So if you are not good at visualization, it was brought to me that it would be really good for you to draw what you are instructed to see. So if you can't see it in your mind's eye, draw it, create a visual for yourself. Does that make sense? That'd be very helpful. So this guided meditation is going to take us into a control room that controls your physical form. We all have one. It's already there for you. You don't have to manufacture this. It's already there. So you're just going to allow your awareness to access this information. Now, we call it a control room, but I want to talk to you about control. A lot of times anxiety is brought to us because we think we're out of control or we have no control over what's going on. And that freaks us out. So anxiety is this really weird. You don't have one. Oh, Phil, you got to turn your speakerphone off, honey. It's coming. It's backing up in here. Thank you for your patience with us. So there's a lot of ways that we get anxious. When I was a small child, I would get really anxious, and I asked my mom, well, what do I do? What's this going on when I have this falling feeling when I'm going to bed? And she'd never had anxiety, so she didn't know what that was. I mentioned it to my brother, who I think my brother's pretty awesome, and he knows a lot of stuff I don't know. He said, oh, well, just do your homework and that'll go away. Oh no, you actually do what you need to do and your anxiety goes away. So sometimes I would do my homework and the anxiety would go away, and sometimes I would just know, oh, that's anxiety, and ride through it. Sometimes when we're anxious, it's caused by a chemical imbalance. Phil and I took a trip with some friends, and we stopped for a milkshake at a roadside thing, and got back in the car. 10 minutes later, I was having this horrific anxiety attack. So there was some sort of chemical or some sort of flavoring or something that my body didn't like. And as a result, that caused me to have this anxiety attack. And it was awful. It was terrible. And it took an hour or so, maybe longer, for it to subside. So it's really important to know what your body likes and what your body needs and what affects you. And notice that sometimes it's not immediate. Sometimes it's maybe 10 minutes later. Sometimes it's a day later that you've eaten something that your body is rejecting or whatever. It could send up an anxiety attack. And then there's the aspect of this sense of feeling out of control because life circumstances are life circumstances. Feeling in control is just an illusion. We're not in control. Now, we have input into our life. There's things that we can do to change things, and we can manifest things in our world. But in the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of things just out of our control. And we have this illusion or perception that we should be in control. We should be able to control what's happening. We should be able to change what's happening. Well, we can. We can change our perspective, and that sets up a chain of events that changes the world. Have you ever noticed that sometimes there's one person who steps up courageously and changes everything? Yes, one person can make this huge difference, but they don't make that difference by being upset and angry and anxious about it. So anxiety blocks us from the part of us that is this powerful manifester. So we're going to look at this anxiety and we're going to adjust that through this meditative process. Now, this is a pretty extensive process. If you fall asleep, it's okay. You can rewatch this video again. I think the Divine Fellowship is the only church that we encourage you, if you fall asleep, it's okay. Because in my opinion, if you're falling asleep, you feel safe. A lot of people have trouble sleeping. If you fall asleep in the church, how wonderful is that? You feel safe enough to rest, safe enough to relax. So if you fall asleep, just allow. It is what it is. Your subconscious is getting the information anyway. And if you want to consciously come back and look at this again, you're welcome to do that. So even if you fall asleep at any point in time, it's fine. Just allow yourself to be where you're at. So again, the more involved you can be in this process by looking and perceiving and noticing, the more alert and awake you can be. Because we're going to go into a deeper level of your mind, a deeper level of your awareness. And by going into a deeper level of your awareness, you're expanding this consciousness. So it's a deeper level of your mind, but it's this higher consciousness that we're accessing. Okay, makes sense? So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to visualize double doors. Now, your double doors could be like hospital doors, or they could be, mine are these two big, huge metal doors, and they have round windows in them. Maybe yours have square windows in them. Doesn't matter. Just, we want these doors to swing open, and they can swing both ways. You can come and go easily and effortlessly. So you're going to allow yourself to step through those double doors. So the first thing is to visualize the double doors, and then visualize yourself moving through them. And as you move through them, you're now teleported or transported into the ethereal realms in your awareness, and you're transported to the control room for your physical form. Now, because we're talking about anxiety, That's what we've set this space up for in order to work with it. So there's probably bells and whistles and klaxons and alarms going off. Just notice that they're there. That's your anxiety activated. Your anxiety is saying there's a part of your being that needs attention and needs attention now. So that's what we're going in here to do, is we're going in here to give this aspect of ourselves attention. So now just take a moment and turn off any bells and whistles, any lights that are flashing. There'll be a switch there for it, or a button, or a toggle, or something. So turn off all the bells and whistles, because you are here giving this space your attention, and that's what those bells and whistles are about. So it's safe and appropriate for you to turn those off. So go ahead and flip all of those off. When I first came in this, everything was flaring and flashing and all of that. So just take a minute and just flip every switch or turn every knob until all of that is off. Now I want you to notice that there's lots of banks of controls all the way around this entire room. I want you to turn your focus to the control panel that has a big screen in it. Can you find that? If you can't find that, manifest that. Create that in your awareness, in your mind's eye, all right? In that control panel, you'll see a figure of a human body. It may not be your human body, but it's the human body. It's a kind of an archetype. If you're drawing this, just draw a square on your paper and draw a stick figure in there. Okay, again, that symbolism and the visualization is really important for this process. Now above that screen is a little window that has a identifying process in that. So we're gonna either type in the word anxiety, or for me, I have a little dial, and I just dial this little dial, and the screen flip until it gets to anxiety. And what happens for me is I don't see anything else. I don't know what's on the other windows, but just that little screen will come up, anxiety. So just make sure you're locked into anxiety, because that's what we're focusing on. Got it? Now, as you look back at the screen, there's a switch or a detailed analysis of what you can see in the screen. So the screen can show you skin, it can show you muscles, it can show you tissue, it can show you bone, it can show you organs, all of the blood system, all of that. We're gonna click all, show all. So click show all. So you'll see all aspects of your body, and you can rotate this picture so that you can see all the way around 360 around this physical form. So you'll be able to see not only, and you'll be able to see your energy field as well. And because we've put anxiety in that top screen, now you're going to see where anxiety is residing in your physical form and in your energy field. So notice, perhaps it's a gray, foggy looking stuff. Perhaps it's just murky looking stuff. Just notice that it's there. Don't get freaked out. Don't get upset. Don't get anxious about it. Just notice it for now, because we're going to work with that and just see where it fits in your body. It may correspond to pain. You may notice that, oh, that's where I have a lot of pain. Well, there may be a lot of anxiety crammed in there. So as we clear this anxiety out, your pain may be alleviated. So the next thing you're going to look for on your screen here is vent. And so you're going to tap your vent switch or turn the button or whatever. A lot of my stuff is mechanical. Yours may be digital. Whatever you're experiencing is what's right for you. So click vent. Allow venting to happen. Now what's going on here is on the screen, you'll notice that there's vents at the outside edge of your aura, at your ankles, at your knees, the outsides of your knees, at your hips, at your waist, at your shoulders, and right about here in your aura field around your head, okay? And those will start to release. It's a release valve, and they're one way, so nothing can get in. You're totally perfectly safe, but this will just allow that to vent. allow it to escape. So take a deep breath in and just let that vent. Okay. That will continue to vent as we move on in our process. So the next thing you're going to look for is next to the screen. For me, there's this lever. And above that lever is another screen. And for this one is anxiety. So my lever was all the way at the top where anxiety is. And so this is on full blast. So we're going to take that and you're going to drop it down so that it's not registering anymore. The anxiety is not active. Okay, so you're taking your anxiety offline. Does that make sense? Remember in the Star Wars movie, and Obi-Wan was in and he had to turn off the whatever it was so that they could escape. So it goes, so whatever sound you want to make for that, but just drop that down to so it's not active. Now, right next to that is another lever, or maybe it's a dial for you, or maybe it's a digital thing. I don't know. Whatever's working for you is what's right for you. And this one was at the bottom for me. And so I took that and I pushed it all the way to the top. And this is that energized peacefulness. So peaceful energy. Meaning I can be at peace, but not devastated and wiped out. Peace is very active. Peace is powerful. It's not something that we're used to having. We think anxiety is going to motivate us. It doesn't. It just keeps us locked down. So it's really important to make sure that's at the bottom to off, and this peaceful energy is at the top. So you might want to create a sound for that as well. And just notice how that's feeling already. You're probably already starting to feel relief from the anxiety and probably already starting to feel more empowered. Now look back at your screen, and because you've put this peaceful energy at the top, notice now that there's energy from a higher source pouring into your aura, into your head, and into your energy field. And just notice what color that is. It could be pink, it could be blue, it could be green, it could be golden. Whatever color you're experiencing is exactly what you need right now to assist you in manifesting this energized peacefulness. Okay, so just notice that that's coming in. And the more of that light that you let in, the more of this anxiety is vented. Makes sense? So now look below that screen. And below that screen, there are two other knobs or gizmos. These were the two that I had to go back in and take a look at again. So the first one has to do with input. So how much input is affecting you? So like right now, we could have input so that one more email about whatever's stressing you, or one more Facebook post, or one more news broadcast is setting you off. Okay, we're going to dial that down. Just dial it down, whatever down looks like to you, whatever your scale looks like there for you. What we're going to do is so that it would take 50, 100, 300 posts or newscasts to even register as anxiety for you. You can still get the information that's necessary. It's just not going to trigger anxiety. So dial that down. Okay. Then right below that, this is output. This is what you can do. We usually spend our time feeling either helpless or frantic. Well, in the middle of that is this optimal range where if there's something that's necessary for you to do, you'll do it effortlessly. That'd be a good thing, wouldn't it? Yeah. So we don't want to be helpless, and we don't want to be locked down, shut down. And we don't want to be frantic and we're doing things that are not helpful. Make sense? So we want to be in this optimal space so that we're not frantic and we're not locked down. Okay? It's in the optimal. So it'll be a little range there that you can give yourself. How does that feel so far? Does that feel much better? Okay, so we're going to let this sit for a minute, and we're going to go do something else. that is in a wonderful augmentation for that. And it's still in this control room area. You actually have 7 levels, at least 7 levels that I have perceived so far. Maybe there's more, I don't know. We're going to go down to the 7th level and do some work down there. Again, the lower we go into in this visualization, we're just going to a deeper level of your mind, level of your intellect. And in that deepness, we're accessing this expanded awareness. Okay. So I want you to find the elevator, and the elevator will take you down to floor 7. So take the elevator down to floor 7. When those doors open and you step out of the elevator, you're going to step into a room that's got soft lighting. Maybe there's some soft music, but it's very soft. There's this comfortable chair sitting there. You're going to go get in that comfortable chair in your awareness. Next to it is a side table, and there'll be like a TV control. And then there's a big screen TV on the other side of this room, and it's divided into 2 parts. One part of this big screen is appreciation. Everything that you can find appreciation for will show up on the screen. So I can appreciate a sunset. I can appreciate a sunrise. I can appreciate a good cup of coffee. I can appreciate friends in my life. I can appreciate, well, the list goes on and on, doesn't it? What's something that you find that you appreciate? Everything that you can imagine or that you can perceive as having appreciation for will show up visually on the screen. When we look at something that feels that we have appreciation for, it changes our chemistry. So even if we've eaten something or thought something or felt something that, or haven't done what we want to do, that has generated an anxiety feeling, we can look at these things that bring us appreciation, and that anxiety will subside. Beautiful tool, huh? The other side of this screen is gratitudes. So gratitude's a little different than appreciation. So gratitude is, I'm really grateful for what I have in my life. I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for Phil. I'm grateful for my dog. I'm grateful for my cat. I'm grateful for the loving relationships I have. So there's lots of things that I have gratitude for, and that'll show up on the screen. And I want you to set your controller for auto and run. So what it'll do is it'll bring up an appreciation you can look at, and then it'll fade and it'll bring up a gratitude. So one after the other. If you could at some point in time write a list of gratitudes and appreciations, I have one, then this will help you add to this in addition. So let me see if there's anything that I might want to read for you since I was brought to that. Blue sky, a campfire. Sat around a campfire, visited with friends. I can really appreciate that. A rainbow, a beach scene. Boy, I could use a beach scene right now, couldn't you? Stars, appreciate that. The Milky Way, a stream running through a forest. Don't you feel good already? Doesn't that really touch your heart space, make you feel good? Ancient trees, crystals. I really enjoy crystals. And on my my gratitudes, I'm really grateful I can cook. I'm a pretty good cook. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for warm blankets and warm sheets. And in the summertime, I'm grateful for cool sheets, a cool breeze. I'm grateful for that. So just perceive what you can about that and add to your list, because if you add to a physical list in this physical world, it gets added to this screen in this ethereal realms. Okay, so hit that in autoplay or run or whatever works for you in that regard. All right. Now, when you put your controller back down, on that little side table, there'll be 3 objects, and I want you to choose one of them to take with you. So one is a sphere or an orb of light. The other is I had this last night. I hope I can remember it. We are now going to sing the Jeopardy theme. So one was the orb of light. Oh, slippers, magic slippers. Gotta have magic slippers, right? What was the third? I'm having to go back into the guided meditation that I took and take a look and see what's there. So there's the orb, there's the slippers. What's the third thing? A crown. A crown. So pick one of those. Just take it with you, and I'll describe what that is for you here in a bit. Or should I do that now? Should I tell you what that means now? No, we're going to leave here for now. So go back to your elevator, take whichever object you would like to take with you. I'll tell you what they mean in a minute. Go back to your elevator, go back up to the top floor, step out of the elevator, and you're back in your control room. And I want you to just take a look at everything. So is everything where it was? Is it still set the way you want it to be? If anything has changed and is not at this optimal setting that we've set, write a little note or flip a switch that requires maintenance. So divine source, higher power, God, all that is, Jesus, angels, ancestors, whatever fits your spiritual come from, that spiritual assistance will come to you, will come into this room and make adjustments and repairs. A lot of times we have anxiety because of trauma that happened in our childhood. So if we ask for repairs, then spiritual repair work can be done in our behalf in this place. So leave your request for assistance and know that that will be brought to you. That will be gifted to you. Now, as we go back towards the double doors, there's another switch or another dial or whatever it is. And this one says run at optimum. So flip that switch and know that whatever settings are there is what is right for you for now. And then step back through the double doors, and that brings you back into here and now in this time and space, back physically into your physical form. And being at peace and having that awakened peacefulness, that powerful peacefulness, as well as reducing the anxiety. Now, I have a Bible verse I want to share with you. And if you want to read along. So this comes from Philippians chapter 4 and verses 4 through 9. I'm not going to read the whole thing. If you've got one of these at home, good book, you might want to go grab it and take a look. And this is Philippians chapter 4, verses 4 through 9. But I'll just read. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Said it twice. Rejoice. Where's anxiety in that one, huh? Nowhere. Rejoice. This is all good. It's not fun. It's not comfortable, but it's all good. Okay? So hang on to that. Let your forbearing spirit be known to all men. Let your forbearing spirit be known. Show up with this spirit of power, of this energized peacefulness. Okay? The Lord is near. You're not alone. Right here, right here, right now. Be anxious for nothing. Don't let it have foothold. Let go. Allow yourself to be in this awakened peacefulness, this energized peacefulness. In everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, gratitude, appreciation. Let your requests be made known to God. Don't make your requests to somebody else. They can't hear you. They can't fix it. You and God can do it. It's you and God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all comprehension, shall guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Okay, so there's this peace that doesn't come from me. I don't have it, but by dialing it in, it's coming from a higher source than me. I don't have to manufacture it. It's gifted to me. I can just receive that and allow that to happen. Finally, brethren, brothers and sisters, finally, y'all, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good repute. If there's any excellence and anything worthy of praise, let your mind dwell on these things. Appreciation and gratitude. Let your mind dwell on those things. The things that you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace shall be with you. You're not alone, and this peace is powerful. It's not apathetic, it's powerful. And you can change not only your world, you can change the world. So step into that. So Mr. Phil, if you'd like to join me again, please, sir. We'll do communion, and then we can take a look at questions if there are any. Here he comes. This little dish right here, this was the first dish we used in for communion for the bread when we first started, because there was just a few of us, so we didn't need a really big tray. Anyway, so a little touch of memorabilia there. So, can you get it?
I can. Maybe.
So if you don't have communion bread at home or crackers or whatever, you know what it's like. You know, you've been there, done that. So just join us in prayer if you would, please. Loving Spirit of light, thank you for peace. Thank you for filling us with peace. Thank you for activating peace within us. Bless us in this journey. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Too fast. I can't talk, my mouth is dry.
Better to be sacrilegious than sanctimonious.
Amen to that. Join us in prayer again, please. Loving Spirit of light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life, all of it. Help us to drink it in with appreciation and gratitude. Walk with us in all things. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. So about this time at church, we pass around the basket. We don't have a basket, so you might want to visit the divinefellowship.com. Hit the donate button if you would. So did we have some questions, Mr. Phil? Or were we just mostly...
Not when I left, no.
Okay.
Because
So let me give you...
these are my computer glasses. They're weird looking, I know, but...
Are those the ones that have sparklies on them?
No.
He ordered some that have little sparklies on them.
I didn't realize they were women's glasses, and they had, yeah. And my granddaughter decided that she would notice that and give me a really bad time about it. So
He deserves it.
let me go.
So-
I'm going to go back in there
Okay.
and
All right. See you later. So let me tell you what the sphere, the glowing light, sphere of light, the slippers, and the crown. Let me tell you what those symbolically mean. And then if you have questions, maybe Phil can field them for us. So the glowing orb of light, this is letting you know that you may have done a spontaneous soul retrieval. Sometimes when we've had trauma in the past, a piece of ourselves separates out and remains safe until we are powerful enough to reclaim it. So with this process, if you receive that orb, then this is a part of you that may have gotten lost in the past. Maybe it's innocence, or maybe it's trust, or maybe it's playfulness, whatever. So you'll have a sense of what that is, depending maybe on the color, whatever. So you're echoing back here, Phil. So
Got it.
if you can take that orb and have a sense of where it belongs within you, whether you need to retrieve it into your heart space or into your mind or into your solar plexus, just bring that back into your being right now. Just receive it. Take it back. Take back your power. This is a part of you that is rightfully yours. So allow yourself to receive that. As you bring that back into your body, it dissipates into every aspect of your body, down into your cells, down into your DNA. And your body will respond to that energy. So blessings to you if you receive that orb. The magic slippers. If you receive magic slippers, this is letting you know that you have everything you need for your spiritual path. Get going. You're on your journey. You're doing what you need to do. You have everything at your disposal. You can walk this sacred path powerfully, beautifully, and gracefully. Make sense? With grace or with divine assistance, whatever that is for you. Then if you had the crown is about taking on and restoring and reclaiming your personal power. Power of choice. You can choose. You can choose to be anxious. You can choose to be peaceful. You can choose to be upset, or you can choose to have courage. So this is reclaiming your power of choice for yourself and knowing that you have that power within. So are there any other questions, Mr. Phil?
Yeah, there are.
Okay. Let me have them.
I want to try, can I try changing your computer on something?
Do you have to do it now?
We've had
Okay. We're trying to work stuff out. Thank you for your patience.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. May and Cheryl said they got slippers. Cheryl actually said satin slippers.
Okay, so as I defined that earlier, your slippers are all about you have everything you need to walk your sacred path. So, which means, let me clarify that further for you. So what that means then is that if you have a challenge come up, pray about it, ask for help, meditate on it, and you'll intuitively know what you need to do next. It'll do that. You'll have the next right thing revealed to you. So any energy that you need, any insights that you need will come to you. You'll have that blessing. I hope that's made sense to you. Anything else?
Carol said that she walked through Batwing saloon doors.
Oh, why am I not surprised, Carol? That's kind of sounds, yeah. Well, how fun is that? You know, me, I had the clinical doors, and you had walked through saloon doors. So this gets to be fun. So moving into your control room opens you up to a whole level of fun that maybe you haven't experienced before. So this should be interesting. Anything else?
Rochelle asked to please repeat the orb.
The orb, okay. This orb represents a part of you that may have disassociated in a time of trauma. And by receiving this orb in this moment, it's letting you know that you are ready to reclaim a piece of your soul. So this is a soul retrieval that's been brought to you. So there's a whole other process we can do for soul retrieval. But in this particular process, because this was so intense and so deep and so powerful, that this cleared a ton of stuff out of a lot of people's world. And so if you have this orb, this is your reclaiming a piece of yourself that you may have lost in the past due to trauma. So receive it into your being. You'll know whether it needs to go into your heart space or your mind or your solar plexus. Receive that, and it dissipates throughout your entire being. So you're reclaiming it all over, and you'll have you'll feel more expansive, more whole, more sturdy, more strong in your life. Hopefully I answered that question for you. Anything else, Mr. Phil?
Well, Patience just joined us.
Hi, Patience.
And Scott, out in Florida, he's
Scott,
with us most
Florida.
of the time too.
Good. So if you just joined us, then you're gonna want to watch rewatch this when it's posted, so that you can get the full meal deal. Any other questions or comments that we need to address at this point?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Obviously, there's lots of other things that we can do in from 1 through level 7. There's other things going on in there. I'm hoping to do some more information on that at another time for healing and overcoming pain. So stay tuned for more information on that.
Well, and we might be doing this from the office in the future. Apparently, there is a very large lag that
Okay.
people are commenting about. It's difficult to hear and see things. So,
Okay. All right. So we'll be back in the office next time. Thank you for your patience. We just thought we'd try something new. Wouldn't want you to get bored. I know we don't want to be bored. So how about if we leave you with
well, make sure everybody shares. And
yeah.
'cause we got some amazing numbers last time from people sharing.
So how long have we gone? What's the time? Oh, almost an hour.
Yeah,
Wow.
52 minutes.
All right. So I'd like to leave you with a song. I'm not going to sing, thank God. There's a God in heaven. Thank you very much. We've been doing a sign language song to a song that Deneen wrote. Go to deneen.com, DENEAN.com. And the song is There Is a Dream. And so May Sharif has been teaching us sign language for that. So I want to leave you with a portion of that, just the words, because it really resonates in my heart. And it is this: there is a dream in my heart, a vision I do see. It is you soaring higher. It is me. We are free. With that, God bless. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.